Okay, we have ourselves another Asian Mythology Retold casted game, and we're taking one from the ladder today, and in this side is I like Belagus, and I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I think this is Bachi from the DoD clan. We'll call him Belagus for now, just in case I get it wrong. Too many Smurfs, not enough time, who knows. And then on this side, we have another Smurf. It is Resurgam. And I believe this is Nullus. He is a 2K rated player on this account, and I think the last few Smurf names for this guy have shown to be Nullus, so that's what I'm going to call him. We'll just go Nullus versus Bachi. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Who cares? They're both good 2K level players, like top 50 ladder kind of guys. So the matchup, we've got Frey off his recent nerf to all the Norse. Getting a less bonus. I was going to say a bonus on their villagers. Not as good gather rate on their villagers. So I believe this was 0.95, goes to 0.9. Sounds like it's not a lot, but actually it ends up being a big deal overall. So it means that Norse can't put as much early pressure on. It also means that but basically takes a little bit longer to get going, but also the kind of booming style with Norse where you put on a bit of pressure, then you maybe boom up a little bit, is not as strong. And I think maybe that hits Frey the most, because he is probably the biggest boomer of them. And then this side, Shenong, off of his buffs to the Kwafu, nerfs to everything else under the sun. I think the idea of that last patch was to get some of the OP units, like some of the late game heroes or something like that, for the Shenong back down, and then buffing the eco, which was a little bit of a strange decision, but hey ho, that is what it is. Looks like Bachi here is getting his perfect circle for his house. I mean, it doesn't give you much favor, but you might as well get as much as you can. It's interesting to see that he didn't go for a house really early on. I don't really know what this new build is. I haven't played China since the buffs, but now these are 10 favor. I assume you want to drop down the house as soon as possible. I mean, he did build the silos in a pretty nice way to get maximum eco, and he will be able to get another one out that is pre-queued. Is it going to be from that villager? It was literally perfect timing. So take it back. House well timed. And hello to everybody in the chat. Yes, it is Sunday or Ra's Day. Young Oath, Darth Wimp are all in. And of course, Frey's going for his kind of standard upgrades, getting his hand axe. If you go for a fast advance time, for whatever reason, you don't always get hand axe, but normally the Freys enjoy their hand axe. We are getting a temple up. I guess we haven't looked at relics. The relics are little turkeys, because it is Halloween or autumn time, Thanksgiving in the US. I don't know when that is, but I assume it's soon. Tail Feathers of Heaven. It's not going to pop up what it is, but it is melee attack, gives extra divine damage. That's always nice. Trojan Gate Hinge is wall hit points, 40% on those. So an insane relic, really. Food trickle per second. And then what's this one? Odin's Spear, which is good for your hoplites, your spearmen, your herdmen, your what are these ones? What do these guys get? What do they get this on? They get it on their halberdiers. Of course they do. So any kind of Freya angle with from Nullus will be instantly shut down by just Shenong's Shio anyway, because Shio has that Master of Weaponry tech, which is just absolutely brutal. And if you added this on as well, so they get more damage, could be pretty brutal. Oh, and Young Oath says it is hard to get the farms down and the house. That is very true. We did see the very early farms coming in, which will give these guys a nice, just constant bit of food, nothing to really worry about. It is something when you're up against raiders that maybe you want to put these farms around the gold mine. Like you could, if I move over to Bachi's perspective, you can kind of put them here and maybe here, and then your villagers are harder to attack basically because they're invisible. But a kind of late advance time for China here, and not too much being built at this point. It is just going to be a TC, a back TC. Kind of a late uptime that side, but then a super late advance time for Frey here. I mean, this is going to be what, a 5:30 something. So potentially staying 1 TC on this side, and then just a 2 TC with nothing on it. I don't know about this. So the map was Tundra. So Tundra has loads and loads of hunt on it, and normally you kind of want to be fighting over this hunt. Maybe Batchy thinks that he's got so much hunt in this main base that it's fine to just get a town center and sit within this base. It's just, where do these villagers go to? They literally have to go to these trees. I mean, you could just move these off the trees. You could just set them in your main base and just go, okay, I'm going to do something with wood because I kind of have to, without having the really big walk time. And then from this side, we'll see what the Frey's seen. He hasn't seen anything that's going on. It's kind of the typical Frey thing, or Norse in general. If you're not Odin, it's quite difficult to get out on the map with your starting Berserk. You kind of want him to be around to build the next buildings as soon as you get up to the next stage. And he's going for triple longhouse, so going in for those infantry-based units. This one could be nice if he wants to grab that one. Against 2 TCs, and now we've got the Chongqi. Come in, just to have a look. So this was the free guy, and then the Yatza was the. Well, I guess that one was also free, but free in a slightly different way. And there was a little square that just popped up here for the Asgardian Hill Fort, and I think the Chongqi literally just missed it. I know it looks like we can see it from the spectator, but that's just because we're in spectator mode. It wouldn't have popped up. So Chongqi just misses that one, so it should be able to go up for free. And then an eventual second TC on this side. Looks like the Draugr kind of taking down these elks. You don't really want to do this as Norse anymore. It seems to be what people did want to do, is just take down some of the elks and things like that. But you want your villagers to do it because they get so much more favor that way. And the Asgardian Hill Fort will go up for free. On this side, I don't even think there's any buildings at all. There is an armory up for Batchy, so he just wants to go straight to the heroic age. Doesn't want to build any classical units at all. Or now getting some machine workshops up. Again, just prioritizing that favor like absolute crazy. And out on this food here. Now, if Nullus knows this, he can send some units over and pressure this out so easily. There's literally nothing to defend. There's this one pioneer, obviously doesn't know, and he's gone for a TC, not even knowing what the Shennong's doing. I assume he knows that he's gone for a second town center. You probably would have been pressured at some point around 7 minutes otherwise. But players could surprise you. He could have been going anything. He could have been massing units back here, waiting to do some big attack. Similar to, I think there are 2 top players that do that pretty well. One of them's Kavoth, and the other's Recon. They like to hide back their units so you can't see them, and then just let them out all at once. It's a great thing to start putting into your games, is hiding units in the longhouses until you're ready, and then attacking with them. Something I've been trying to do for sure. And now the Berserk will spot this, but he's got his second town center up, and then quite a few villagers behind. A lot of villagers behind. I mean, there's about a 3-minute difference on this side. The Norse eco's been nerfed. The Chinese eco's been buffed. So it's going to be pretty hard for Nullus to get anything done unless he can stop pressuring with his army now. Like, he's got a decent amount of units now. He could easily come through, stop these walls going up, potentially take down a Quafu if he's got enough units. Here's an Imperial Academy out. Not something you usually see in the Classical Age unless you're Fuji. Just because you can build these guys from the temple. Look, it's like the Raiden Cavalry will come in. I mean, look how many Quafu there are on the side of Batchy. There's just 4 here. Got 5 here. Going to be able to take down the Raiden Cavalry probably for free. But there are some more units coming down. This one wasn't finished up, and it looks like it's 1 second to going up. And Nullus will be able to get through. Not much he can really do about the Chongqi. Okay, the Chongqi did go through the ground, but then he came back. And it will be 1 dead tiger. That's one of the only units for the Shennong here. And deciding not to go up to the heroic age and starting to build units. I think that's probably a good call. Was pretty much set up to go there and then forced off of these elks. But I don't think it's a really big deal. You can move over to this side. The Frey army at the moment is pretty slow. There's a couple of raiders out, but nothing really too bad. And a small bit of damage from the Frey, but nothing really too much. Did force villagers off this side, has stopped a bit of the old favor income by taking out one of the connecting buildings. Always something you want to try and do if you're up against these guys. And then a Great Hall coming down this side. The Frey really cheap upgrades coming in for copper shields, copper weapons, copper armor. It does take so long to get these out, though. But you might as well just queue them up. And then we've got A gear. So some sort of A gear attack potentially coming in. And then the fast units do manage to get over this side and actually take out a Quafu. So nice play there. The gold mine in the main base, 400 gold left in it, so definitely needs to move out at some point. I mean, this is the thing about playing defensive on this kind of map, is it's very difficult to get the walls up and actually get your position locked in. A gear's coming through, so yeah, don't really want to attack while that one's going on. And actually going through A gear, if the Shenong decides to stay classical age, I mean, his eco is going to boom up even more. There's just constant Quafus on auto queue from both town centers, and spreading the favor so nicely. You just see how much favor or favored land there is coming here. I don't know what it says on this side. 23 per minute, quite a lot. I feel like maybe making a pumpkin pie because of those bushes. There's some very nice looking bushes. It's definitely true. Now the Halberdiers in. They don't have their upgrade. Master of Weaponry is going to come in now. This does mean that is 1.5 Quafus that you're investing in that, but I think it's more than worth it. It just makes them so disgustingly strong with their 5 times damage multiplier already, then slow things down. But the Tempest is in, and is actually going to stay. No, he's just going to run away. I think that's definitely the right call. If you've got like an absurd amount of units, if you're full pop off of the 3 TCs, and you can kind of just stay. Now, actually deciding to stay anyway, kind of gets out of the main circle of it, gets to the side and drops his lightning weapons, and the Huskarls just carving through these fire archers. And it looks like a classic, well, at this point, it's a classic A-gear timing for the fray. Does get the Master of Weaponry there, so they are some lightning sticks, but it doesn't do too well in just a straight-on fight. It doesn't really do anything. It's more when you're trying to raid with these raiding cavalry, and you can literally just have a couple of these guys, and they just snare them up, and they just can't run away. So the wall should be able to finish, unless there's a decent amount of throwing axemen, means that you don't actually have to be there. Shenong does have to be worried. I think he's still trying to get up to the next stage. Potentially wants to get some kind of castle to drop down. And he does have enough resources now, so can go up there if he wants to. There's so many villagers here. So the throwing axeman spotted him, but you can easily turn around and just get rid of that guy. And lots of towers even. Do we know which towers these are on? I assume they're on this gold mine. So actually decides he doesn't even need the castle. He's just going, I'm going to build 3 towers, even building his own tower here with the watchtower upgrade coming in. This is a really nice play because it means you can sit in the classical age where, I mean, his army's pretty good anyway. Don't need to spend those extra resources and that time where, especially that time, would just let the fray come in and deal so much damage before the castle can even get dropped. So definitely like that play. Does mean, I mean, these buildings do go down so quickly though to the rock giants and everything else, but it's going to be a lot of tower damage. And if you can get Quafu here to rebuild, it could be nice. Even getting a really early Masons in would be a good shout, but Heroic Age coming in after the fact, so just wanted enough to basically defend. And then there's such a nice wall coming up here, just so you know that your opponent won't be on this gold mine. Unfortunately, he has managed to get on the gold mine. I'm sure Nullus will be able to see that one. And he's happily hunting this side. He's got his gold this side. He because he's aggressing, he can just spread out wherever he really wants to and make the most of this tundra. So there are some sky lanterns going up. So blue will be aware of this one. And a hill fort does go up in the face. The Bergrizi even had the upgrade. Need to get some kind of answer to those. Do have 6 pioneers, but I mean, they just have so much pierce armor. It'll be nice when you get to the next stage, get some sages out, steal the Bergrizi just for a couple of seconds. That was one of the things that got a major nerf. Unfortunately, a lot of peasants kind of hanging around. This happens when there's not enough space on the gold mine. They just get a bit confused. So he will have to kind of deal with that one. We do have the Fey Beasts coming in. Fey Beasts get targeted down so quickly. They're not going to get as much damage as they probably wanted, but still so many units going down. And that is enough to actually force Nullis back. And how many Bergrizi did he lose there? Lost 2. So I take it back. Pioneers. OP. Look at that. 11 times multiplier. That's insane for a unit that you can build this many of. Normally that's kind of left for your Greek heroes or your Mythic Age heroes that can actually, you know, you can only build one of those. They just go down so quick. I think this might have been a change in one of the patches a few months ago. I think because Pioneer rushes were so strong, there was something about their damage went down, and then they must have just buffed the damage to Myth units to make up for it. But it means that Myth unit strategies against China are just... they just don't really cut it. Now the Baihu in probably hasn't even built these guys. Just gets a second one for free, more than likely. There is a decent amount of Godi out. Old Ubi Ragnarsson and his team against pure archers, basically. There are some nice Jarls coming in. I think Jarls are a pretty good front line against this. They are just pure HP. It's nice with Frey also because you get that upgrade later on where you just get HP for your units. And because the Jarls just have so much, it can be very nice. There is a siege crossbow trying to get to that hill fort, but they're quite expensive and it could get taken out so quick. You really need to be careful with those. And nicely sniped. Whenever you see one of those just out and about, if you've got a melee unit, just get rid of it. Bergrizi in. Surprised there's no... I guess there is Zhang Xia here. He will deal with it decently, but definitely worth a Sage. Whenever you have an enemy myth unit which has a cool ability which you can steal off for a couple of seconds, it's definitely... those are the highest value targets for your Sage to steal. And... it looks like... I don't know. It looks like the Shenong had plenty of resources there, but just didn't decide to build. I think he had enough to defend also, but nice timing anyway from the Fray. I'm pretty sure he could have defended that one. But hey ho, GG.